Welcome to Art and Soul Insider. I'm Barbara Lynn Burns, and I'm here to help you find your joy, your creativity, and calm through art and wellness. Whether it's exploring new supplies, guided meditations, or inspiring art projects, this is your space to recharge and create. So let's make more art and less stress together. Here we go. Hello, welcome. So today what we're going to be doing, we're going to be playing with some artist tiles. So they look kind of like this. They're square, and we're going to be doing watercolors, and then we're going to do line designs on top of them. This is incredibly mindful work. You can get lost in doing these, and they're wonderful. So let's get going. Okay, here we go. As I mentioned at the beginning, we're going to be using these tile sets. Now, these are really nice cards. I mean, you can cut them this size, right, out of your watercolor paper and whatever, but it's kind of neat when you get a little package like this and they're all ready to go. Now, these are acid-free, so that means it's a good quality paper and that your supplies will actually work well on them. It's 300 grams per meter squared in cardstock, so it's heavier. It's about what they call 140 pounds. It says here, I might as well read the package. It says it's fine tooth surface, no ink bleed for fine line control, good for dry and wet media, which we're going to be doing both. So you can use pen, pencil, pigment, pastel, and watercolor. And they say it's for artists and crafters of all levels. It's called the Studio Series Artist Tile Set. They also have them in black, and they have them in, a postcard size. Yeah. This is created by Peter Pauper Press Incorporated. You can get these on Amazon, I believe, but you can also order them directly from Peter Pauper Press, which I'll put right down here for you, their webpage and stuff like that. So I'm going to be doing 3. So 1, 2, 3. There we go. And materials that I'm going to be using. I have tape, and for one of the projects, I'm just looking for it here, I'm going to need a ruler. I've got my pencil set here because you will need a pencil. We're going to be doing a little bit of shading, and I've brought a smudger. Now, if you don't have a smudger, no worries. You can just use like what I would do sometimes at school with my students, just roll up a paper towel and just kind of work it that way. So, yeah, so that, and I'm going to be using something a little bit different. This is called Daller Rowney, so really good quality supplies. This is called Aquafine. Now, I've had these for a while, and I just thought I haven't played with these for a while. The labeling might have changed. So this is ultramarine blue dark. This is cadmium yellow. This is called leaf green. And this is quinacridone magneta. Okay, love this color. Beautiful, beautiful. So I'm just going to be using these colors to create. Very simple. I'm just going to be doing a wet on wet. So you're going to need, naturally, brushes. It's a little frayed, but when the water gets on it, it comes together. There are, I've got better ones that are a little bit more smoother and stuff like that work really well. Now, also, we're going to be needing some ink because, as I said, we're going to do watercolors first, and then we're going to go and use the ink on top. Now, I found with some other ones, watercolors that I did with these and then did the ink on top, these did not like working on the watercolor. So I'm going to see with these how well they work. So it's a little trying out for me. I've got these ones too. And you know what? If all fails, I've got ballpoint pens, as I said as well, and a Sharpie. So I think we're good. First things first, let's tape everything down. I'm going to make sure that it's going to be relatively the same border all the way around. And I'm taping it down because we are going to be doing the technique wet on wet. So here we go. Once I get my paint all out, I'm going to then spritz these. So it'll be nice and wet. And so when I drop the color in, it'll just flow. Now, one thing I have to watch out when I'm doing this is this color and this color, if combined, will create kind of a brown. So I have to kind of, if I'm using this and this in the same piece, I'm going to have to keep them further away from each other. So that's just kind of a little heads up. It doesn't say to shake these, but I'm going to shake them. It says it's a pigment-based ink. So what does that mean? Well, you use pigments, not you use, but the people who make paints use pigments. I've seen them as a powder, that type of thing, because I'm wanting to have some space just to make some lighter variants. I don't want to use straight from here, right? That's too powerful. So I'm going to be adding water into these little wells here. So we can mix some colors, right? So we can combine these two to create kind of a turquoise, right? Or blue-green is the technical word is. And then we've got here we can create some really nice yellow-green, right? Really bright. I mean, it is bright right now, but we could make it a little bit brighter with adding yellow to it. Now, remember, these are watercolors. So when you add water, you're going to be diluting the paint, which means you're going to be lightening. Like other paints, you add white. And here, what we do with watercolors is traditional watercolors, we add water to make the color lighter. I'm going to spray. I found these dried pretty quick because I am living in Alberta. And Alberta is very dry. I'm not wanting to go really dark with these. Oops, I added accidentally a little blue in that green, didn't I? Okay, there we go. Ooh, that's bright. I didn't have to use very much of it. Look at that. But it's water. It has enough liquid on the paper, right, that it's going to do some diluting on the paper as well. I'm just spreading the colors, right? I'm not really doing anything special. I'm just trying to just fill this with color. That was a really strong pigmented, oh, look at this, pigmented yellow there. So we're going to get some nice oranges with this mixture here with the quincridion. Some people pronounce it differently. So, I'd like to know how you pronounce it because I brutalize words. I mean, I tell you, being a teacher, first day of school was kind of challenging sometimes. I'm going to add a little bit more of the blue just to intensify it. There we go. It was kind of funny. Yeah, so I'm getting a little green in there because blue and yellow make green. I'm just going to bring in some more blue there. Don't want my watercolors too dark. The reason why is because we are going to be doing ink on top. So if it's a dark value, the ink is a dark value, it won't show up as well. So I'm going to dip just a tiny bit in here to get a little deeper. I'm just going to do some dots. See how that works out. There we go. Yeah. Just to get some variation in there. These work really just like watercolors. So, I mean, if you've ever seen these, and you thought, oh, I don't know about them, pick them up. It's fun. They're fun, just like watercolors. So I'm just going to intensify the color. Remember, I don't want it too dark, though. And I'm wanting to not... It's okay if it goes into the other ones because then we got some little different color variations, right, happening. Watch the red and the green, though, right? Remember I mentioned that? Because that's going to... Oh, that's a little too deep. Hopefully the water will... There we go. We'll just work it like that. Because that'll make, again, remember, it's a brown if the green and the red hook up together. There we go. Yellow, I don't need to do anything with it. It's pretty bright. The blue is, let's just add some variation in here. I might get some, what's it called? Blossoms, because I'm going back with a pretty wet brush in here. And it's probably started to dry, so I've just got to watch out for that. Okay, I'm just leaving it like that. And then we're going to dry it. We don't want anything fancy. I mean, I could put salt on it, but I think I'm just going to leave it because I want it just to be kind of a basic kind of, well, fun cover. Background, I mean. Nothing, no details or anything like that, because you know what? We're not going to see it, right? Oops, it lifted. Watch that. Yeah, so I bet, this went underneath here. Oh, well. Oh, well. That's what you have to watch out when you're working with watercolors, especially with a little too much water, which I might have gotten in this one, see? And you know what I didn't do? I didn't do my double press. I usually go in and I press down, but I can see this is bleeded down into it. So that's the way it is. Well, we could maybe work something like that with the ink, in it. We'll see. So I'm just going to put this aside, hook up my lovely blow dryer, and we'll start blow drying. I got way too watery. Look at that. Oh, it just spilled right on all underneath. But I'm just going to leave it, and I know I do have little edges. But you can maybe do something fun with it when you're done. We'll see. We will see. So the first one, I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to, it's roughly 8 centimeters. So these cards, I should have told you how big these cards are. These cards are, they don't say. So let's do a measurement then. So these cards are technically, let's do inches for you. 3.5 by 3.5, I assume, because they are square, right? Okay. So in centimeters, that would be 9 centimeters by 9 centimeters. So, yeah, look at all this moisture underneath. Boy, oh boy, there's probably paint underneath. But I know this is dry because when I feel this, it's not cool to the touch. If it's cool to the touch, it still has water in it. should I try these? I'm going to try these and see if they work. Because remember I told you I tried on other watercolors and they didn't work. I'm going to try the 0.5. Okay, so 0.5 is like that. Technically it's half a millimeter. So I'm going to, technically it's not precise, but it's roughly 8 inches across. So what I'm going to do is do a centimeter by a centimeter. I'm going to start it true on one edge. So I'm going to start it true. This one's going to be a little shorter. I'm just going with it. So I'm going to do little nicks here, or little points of where the centimeters are. Okay, so I'm going to go straight up and do the exact same thing. So I started at 0 at this top part. I'm going to do 0 right up there again. So I'm just going to it's going to be a little bit more on the tape than it is on the paper on this one. I'm kind of reaching over, so I'm not really, I don't know how exact it is. But you want to get your squares that we're making, or diamonds we are. They're kind of, right? Squares and diamonds are kind of the same. It's just a matter of turning them a bit. So we are going to create these diamonds, but they need to be the best you can do. Make them all the same. So I'm gonna make room here because I'm gonna turn this. It's a long board. And I'm gonna start here on this side. Just want to make sure you can see. Yep, good. So here's 1, 2, and coming straight up. Again, starting my 0 over here because I started my 0 there. Line it up, coming straight up to the tape, kind of. Okay, this is going to get on the paper here. That's okay. I'm creating dots instead of dashes because I'm going to be making diagonals. So it's not going to be, you know, like if you did it straight and I'm doing a straight line, then it would work. But with a straight line and I'm doing a diagonal line, it won't work. It's kind of like they're both going in different directions here. Not sure if you understood what I'm saying, but it's okay. Trust me. Okay, I'm going to return it back to where it was. Just want to make sure that you're seeing what I'm seeing. Yep, good. Okay. These are boards that I had when I was teaching and teaching in the high school. And what I did is I actually had a few at home when I retired from school. So I've got these. I got like 2 or 3 of them. So I've kept them. The amount of money that I gave to the art program out of my own pocket was quite enough. So we're going to, as I mentioned, join diagonally. Okay, so I'm going to join here. Oh, so far so good. This is working nice on this. It likes this paint better. Interesting. So that's a, you know, maybe well, it is a good lesson because you have to see, sometimes you got to see what your supplies work best on. Oops, I lost one there. Okay, oh, and I'm not really lining them up there either. There's 4. So let's do that as a 4 there. Okay, and I find with these pens, I have a trouble because I want to go sideways on them, you know? I want to, instead of going straight up and down, because they're not really meant to be held at a curve, like an angle. They're meant to be, as a technical pen, very straight. And I sometimes forget that. So, straight up and down. So we will just continue playing along and see how this works with this, these pens and this ink. Got the really, isn't that a pretty orange there? It's like a little salmon. That's really nice. So just to let you know, if you don't know, depending on the colors you use, you're going to get totally different colors. So if I used a different yellow with this red, totally different orange. So how do you know? Well, if you can't see it, it's a learned thing, because there's warm and there's cool colors. Yellow's considered a warm color, but in that warm color as yellow, there is a cool yellow and there is a warm yellow. And so you have to kind of be aware when you're working with colors, what color combination you're working with, because sometimes you think you've got it okay, but it kind of turns a little muddy or a little gray. That is kind of your mixing a color that might not be as compatible as the other one would be. So that's why I find it so important, especially if you're learning. I really encourage you to go to an art store. I know it's convenient with Michael's sometimes. Like Michael's is a big box store in Canada where you can get art supplies, craft supplies, the whole bit. But you don't get the expertise, right? And that's nothing against the ones at Michael's. They do a great job. They're very generalist. They got to know everything, right? So when you go to the art store, they know just art supplies. That's a good thing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go the opposite way. And I won't talk during this, so I'll just fast forward it for you then. I made a boo-boo. I don't know if you can visually see it, but I went a little far. Here's my dot, and I went just over. So this one is going to be bigger, okay? But that's all, okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, it does affect this one. See, this one's bigger and that one's smaller, so it's going to affect that. Kind of look, but we did our best. That's all you can do, right? Mistakes happen. So we're going to draw a line straight down, okay, kind of in the corner. And then I'm going to go like that as well. You see that? So I'm making a little thing like that. I'm going to do it in every single corner. So watch me go. Takes time. Don't worry. Take your time. We're in no rush. Okay? Again, this is all about mindfulness. So get lost in your thoughts. I mean, in some ways, not the worrying thoughts. Put on some good music if you want and just lose yourself in the music. Or if you want complete silence, that works just as well. And just focus on your breathing and what you're doing, being present right here and now. This is mindfulness. Here you are. So that's what it's to look like. So little tiny squares in the corner, all in the same kind of corner, all kind of in the same direction, right? Now what we're going to do is color those tiny squares black. Again, mindfulness. Just be in the moment. Focus on the coloring the squares, one square at a time, then the next, then the next. It's wonderful as an incredible form of relaxation for you. There we are. Yeah. Now what we're going to do is take our ruler again, and we're going to go straight, mark it straight through the lines there, right? You know, the tip of from top of the diamond, okay? From the top of the diamond, let me get you closer here. Sorry about that. So the top to the top, to the top, to the bottom, to the bottom, to the bottom, to the bottom. And draw a straight line through. So line your ruler up really good. Yeah, take your time. I'm taking my time. That's what I'm doing. And then draw a straight line through. That didn't go flat, did it, on mine? It lifted up a bit. Okay, let's try this again. See if we can get it right. Okay. There. Okay, here we go. Straight up and down, right? And there we go. That's better. Oh, little off. Jeepers. Oh, you know why I'm a little off? Because of that little thing right there. Shoot. Yeah, it made a difference, doesn't it? Okay. Well, keep doing what you can. There we go. That made a difference in that one. Boy, yeah, it's coming over like that. Yeah, wow. Huge difference there. Okay. All I can do is my best with what I did, right? Okay. Okay. Yeah, some of them aren't lining up. Oh boy. I wonder if I do it like this, do my own lines. Nope. Yeah, I'm having to adjust these because of my little mistake. Interesting. Learned something new then today. Very interesting. So I'm adjusting. I'm going every two kind of work. I'm just kind of because of this two, good English. Because these two were off, right? Because I missed the dot on this one. That made all the difference here. Wow. Wow, that is incredible. Now you might have done yours properly, so you don't have to alter yours like mine. This is, wow, it's so cool. Interesting, huh? It's okay. It looks like it's okay. Oh my gosh, that was something. I like little alterations because I wasn't perfect, right? Because of that little misstep. Interesting. So I'm going to take probably a 2B, which 2B is just a regular pencil. you have just a regular pencil, that is perfect. I'm just going to sharpen mine a little bit. That's what a 2B is. The B stands for carbon. And that's where you get that blackness. So the larger the number here, 9B, the more carbon it has compared to a 2B. You see? Yeah. So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be shading on one side. So I'm going to be shading on this side of the box. I'm going to do that for every box. And the whole idea of this, look at it's off here. Yep, a little off. So I should have done like what I did back here, that everything kind of, I altered it, right? Kind of matched this up with that one, right? But it'll start to look three-dimensional. So this is your square here. Okay, or your diamond, I mean. This is your diamond. So you're going to shade on this side of it. Don't worry about perfection because we're going to take that smudger in. Now, if you don't have a smudger, then just, go ahead and just take your time with your shading. Again, mindfulness, right? That's the word for today, because this is all that we're doing, is this repetitive work. And through this repetitive play that we're doing, we are going to be creating a sense of flow. And this is where we can get, it's the right brain and left brain. And this is where we can get lost in our work. Have you ever done something that you've loved, like playing the piano or something like that, and then all of a sudden you look at the clock and where's the time gone? Well, you were in what's called a state of flow. And because of that state of flow, you, lost track of time. And it's a beautiful thing. Some people have chosen to do line designs in this. What would require that, what I would do here, is just use a smaller, thinner nib, right, to make the detail. And probably thicken up these lines, right, to make the actual shape. And I was kind of thinking about that with this, even for this one. But I'm gonna see how it looks. The thing about going over and trying to make your lines thicker, you can sometimes, get into trouble, right? So you have to watch out for that. There we go, a little bit of that in there. You know what? I just realized I should have started on the other side. The reason why is I'm right-handed. And with right-handed, you go this way, right? Well, what's going to happen when I'm over here, my hand is going to be on top and I could smudge this. So what I do with something like this, I take a piece of paper. It's usually a piece of paper, and then I go and put this on top of it and then work that way. So now I'm going to start on the right side now that I've realized, and I'm just going to continue from there. And you do your mindfulness as well, right? So I'm going to, with every third one, I'm going to go back in. So third line, 1, 2, 3, see what I mean? I'm just going to go in and smudge. Make sure you stay in that section, right? Because if you go out, you're going to ruin the optical illusion that this is creating. So do you see it visually? That's the question. We're done. Do you see how it looks like a three-dimensional box? The black on the bottom, on the corner here, is the bottom of the box. And these are its sides. You see? So one side is shaded, one side is the color, the bottom is black. Do you see that? Once you see it, you will see it. But if you're not seeing it, it might take you a while, but it is there. So it's three-dimensional. It's making it look 3D. So there you go. So that is one. Okay, so for this one, we are going to take, I'm going to just use a Sharpie. I hope this one lasts because it's the only one I have. So I'm going to take corner to corner, draw a line. So one line, and I'm going to do 3 lines, 1, 2, 3 on one side, and 1, 2, 3 on the other. Try and do them evenly spaced. I need to do 3 on one side and 3 on the other. There we go. Oh boy. I'm not very good at this. Let's do maybe, okay, right there. Oh, no, that's 1. Oh, gee. 1. I needed 3. Silly goose. Okay. Oh, okay. We're just going to add, it won't be a full thing then. Okay. 1, 2. Yeah, I'm not going to get it. Oh, well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start and do little things that kind of come up like that. I'm going to want you to kind of just give me some time to get some going, and I'm going to show you them. See? There we go. When you do them small, they don't really show up that well. But you see? And then I'm going to do the other on this side. Just, you're not going to see them all, right? Naturally, because I did not do this properly. But it's good. I'm not going to take this out. I'm not going to start again. I want you to see this is how I roll with making mistakes. You make mistakes. I make mistakes. It's okay. We survive them. Okay, so let's do it down here. And you want to kind of match them, right? Kind of. Now let's do this side. So now we're going to go very much like this again. This is the center. We're going to go like that. So this one's going to come this way. There, oops, I sketched that one. You need to be more solid with your lines, right? Keep going. And now we're going to go this way with this one. Coming up. Woo! Made a mistake there. Oh, well. We'll survive, won't we? Not everyone's going to be perfect, right? There. Now we're going to go on this side. So we went this way. Now we're going to go this way. Okay. Altering them. Again, they don't necessarily need to match up. You know, you don't have to go, okay, I did 15 on this one side. I'm going to have to do 15 on the other. You don't have to. Now I'm going to go that way. Okay, now we're going this way, that way. See, so how they kind of come together like that? It's kind of neat, huh? They look like they're like cones, right? Yeah, very cool. And it's all a visual of the line. The line is telling our eyes, this is the way it is. And our eyes is going, oh, okay, I guess that's the way it is. Isn't that interesting? So now what are we going to do? Well, I'm going to go in between these guys. See how I've got these spaces here, right? Where it's the line. Am I in screen? There we go. I want to make sure I'm in screen, right? So, there we go. See? Coloring this in. You got it? Okay, let's do that. Make sure there's no color showing through. You want to have it nice and solid. Now we're going to go here. That's going to be a little bit of something there. I had to figure that one out. Isn't that cool? So just by my use of line, it almost looks like this is three-dimensional as well. And it's just how you used your line. Curved lines, for lines that show emotion, curved lines show joy. They're also diagonal in some ways. Okay, well, these are diagonal, right? And diagonal shows growth and movement. So that's what we kind of have here. Look at smaller to larger, and then again a sense of movement with it curving around and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. You seeing this? It's pretty cool. There's that one. Pretty neat, huh? Okay, so for this one, you're going to have roughly the same distance of lines. So I'm taking it from, like, I'm going to do a curved line, kind of like that. Okay, and then I'm going to go, like, kind of follow that along, right? Parallel, see, they kind of match each other, same kind of distance away. Following that, it might not be perfect. It's not there. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to do a second line. I'm just going to follow that line. So a parallel line with the first lines we drew. Oops, I smoothed this. I should be going this way. It's harder for my hand to go this way. I do smoother lines when I'm going this way. It's just a matter of finding what works best for you, right? So I'm going to go like this, kind of like a little curve going from edge to edge. And I'm going to do like that. Whoops, that one didn't really go that well. Go like that. Oh, go like this. There we go. I see what I'm doing. And going like that. Okay, I have to figure it out here. I'm kind of going a diagonal. So this would be then a diagonal like that. See that? That was really off. Oh, I made a mistake here. Okay. Like that. That's what I'm trying to do. Like that. There we go. Like that. Oh, how easily confused I get with these. So ignore that. And then again, we're wanting to go again, at keeping that same kind of like that. Here, go from one end to the other, one end to the other. There we go. There. Then it's going to go like that. That's going to be the line. Kind of joining the edges like that. Yeah, there we go. So now with this, I'm going to draw lines that are parallel to these guys. Remember, we're wanting it to be kind of curved. Okay, so then this one is going to come this way. Try to keep them roughly, the same distance apart if you can. Remember to have it kind of curved because these are curved, right? And we're making a parallel line with that. Then this is going to go this way. Oh, this is an awkward way for me to draw lines. Not as strong as this way. Yeah. Interesting, huh? Are you like that? Do you find one way's easier for you than the other? I'd like to know. Let me know in the comments. Oh, see, I'm not curving these as well as I should be. Well, that word should, huh? Got to watch out for that word. So again, making parallel lines with this one. Okay, trying to keep them all parallel. Okay, here we go with I'm going to do it this way. This is going to feel more comfortable for me. You're still going to see it, but it'll work better for me. So I hope you do that too. Turn the paper if you need to turn the paper, right? Oops, getting a little too wide. Some people are so good at this. This isn't my strong suit. Well, I shouldn't say that. I think I'd do better if I practice more, just like anything else. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to not try to rush it. I think that's what my problem is. I'm trying to rush. Let's not rush. So, okay, back here again. Take it right to the edge. See, I'm stopping short. So let's take it right one end to the other. There we go. See, I'm stopping short. You know what? The problem is I don't want to intersect that line. That's where I'm kind of I think I'm scared. But I think I just have to, when I get to that point, just take my time and just go there slow, right? So again, we're doing it this way, right? Yeah. I'm losing my curve. Gotta have that curve in there. Reason why, that's what's going to make it look three-dimensional. For flattening out our line, which I'm doing, it's not going to be as three-dimensional. I'm going a little too thin now with my lines. Interesting. I think this is all about practice, this one, especially doing line design. I think the more you do it, the better you get. And I haven't done a whole lot lately. I used to do this with my students. So I'm a little rusty. That's okay. That's the beautiful thing about art. You can pick up and try again, right? So you just keep trying. You know, it's like we didn't learn to ride a bicycle the first time. And yet, for some reason, with art, we think we should be good right away. When we try something, like even with me, right? I haven't done this for a long time. And what's happening? Well, I'm not as good as I used to be. So it shows practice. I don't like that. The saying, practice makes perfect, but practice makes you better. It does. I mean, any basketball player will tell you that, any hockey player, you know, anyone who's great at what they do will tell you that is what they've done, right? They've practiced. These are going to be these ones again. So I'm going to, that's a mistake. So that's going to actually be seen. But I'm okay with it, you know. I had to figure that out, how to do my starting the lines. And maybe I should have done it in pencil first, you know. So as you can see, it is a pattern. You do one way and you do the other way. Go on here like this, right? Make sure you see it. Oh, whoa. That's a bad one. Judgment. Gotta watch our judgment. That is not the best one, right? We can do better ones. And that's what we gotta do. That's all. So now that we've got that, what we're going to do is I almost want to use a smaller one, but I'm wanting to create little fuzziness on top of that. I'm going to choose a smaller 0.2, okay? 0.2s like that, okay? I'm just going to do little fuzzy lines coming up from them. I'm starting from making little hair legs. So I'm kind of right here and I'm coming up like that. You see? So what I'm doing is creating a darker value. So it's going to look like this is in front of this stuff right here. Okay? So that's what I'm going to be doing with every single one. I'm doing little hairs, right? Oh, gotta remember it goes straight up and down with these, right? And remember, you're kind of doing dashes, but you can crisscross them. Just that way they'll look a little bit, I don't know, more organic, more real. Don't go too wide though. Don't go crazy. You want to keep them kind of close to that edge, but you want to create a nice kind of, you see how it's looking a little bit more, that's in front of this. It's a little shadow, right? Yeah, so that's what we're wanting. So all of these, we've created a three-dimensional visual just by our use of lines. Isn't that cool? Just using lines, and we're not even doing a realistic drawing. These are abstracts, right? So just by doing these, right, we are giving the visual that this is three-dimensional. This is in front of that type of thing. This one is like, they're like little cones, right? Again, take your time. This is a mindfulness exercise. This is perfect to do if you find yourself stressed about something, because this is repetitive and you just keep doing what you're doing, and lo and behold, there will be a picture at the end, which is kind of neat. I want to make this one a little more intense here because it's closer up. Because these are getting, yeah, these are a bit longer here. There we go. That's better. There we go. Yeah, I was getting them a little longer up here, so I thought I had to kind of increase my dimension down there, right? So this is something perfect to do if, say, you are waiting for someone, right? You're waiting for someone to arrive. If you have a purse or anything, you can just take this out and start going. We're going to do little fine lines coming out from these guys. So going this way on that side and going this way on this side. I like to almost do the same kind of angle that these are. It's a little tricky though for me with my hand, but again, remember, you can always move your sheet, right? You can turn it around, you can flip it around. Do what is best for you and what works best for you, right? So again, this gives that three-dimensional look because we're adding a bit of shadow. So with this pencil one here, the first one that we did, you have to be careful with it. So if you do have a spray fixative that works with pencil, and what it does, a spray fixative, is it just seals it. Because what's going to happen is if you don't seal it, you might be smudging that good old carbon all over the place, okay? So you just have to watch it. if you don't spray it. So I'm trying to, after all that work, I want you to make sure that you know, you don't ruin it by just going, oh, you smudged it, right? Again, take your time. I'm going fast, and I shouldn't. I'm just trying to, I get so excited near the end. So that's, a good lesson for me. And I guess maybe, even you could take that lesson. Learn from me that take your time at the beginning and middle and end, right? Yeah. So you want to do that. We're done. So wasn't that enjoyable? I just find sometimes to do things like this really helps focus my brain and the fact and my mind and I guess even my emotions to just be here, be now. And that's what these type of drawings, these line drawings really do. And, and I think they're good to help us learn control with our pen and ink, which would translate into our drawings with our pencil. So, yeah, I think I'm pleased with it. Yeah. I'm going to practice some more because I'm a little rusty. I'm glad you got to share that with me. With that, take good care of yourselves. Remember, slow and easy. No rush in life. You're going to get where you're going. And I guess we can learn from line designs with that. I'm sending you love, sending you my deepest gratitude for your presence in my life. So thank you again and take care of yourself. See you next week.